follow along for a 20-minute spooky dumbbell and mini band strength workout. I've got a warm up and a cool down as well. If you don't have mini bands, don't worry, modifications will be provided. And if you don't have dumbbells, you can always use body weight only. We're 50 on, 15 off, 5 exercises, 3 times through. Focus on 8 to 10 repetitions in that work period. We are starting with a quadruped T. So on our hands and knees, we're gonna lift one arm at a time, up and out to the side. Come with me on those tones. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're flexing those feet and pushing back through those toes. We have a neutral back position, so we have a small arch in our low back, a gentle pull in on that belly button. That's really important for that core and supporting that spine. You're going to hear me say it a lot. Our chin is tucked with our head pushed back, so we have that neutral spine from head to hips. As we rotate those hands, pointing up towards the ceiling, we're going to feel that working back behind our shoulder blades. 8 seconds, we're going to go to a glute bridge with a pullover. So flip over, feet flat on the floor, toes, knees, hips, nice straight line. We're going to lift the hips up, big squeeze on the glutes, back down, and then we're going to reach our hands towards the floor behind us while keeping the shoulders away from the ears. So this is going to feel like a big stretch through the outside of those armpits. Now, we can go with our thumbs and our thumbs pointed up and reach towards those thumbs. You can put the thumbs down and reach towards the top of your fists, or you can place your hands flat so you reach towards the back of your hands. 5 seconds, we're going up to our feet for a balance and a walking leg on one side. So bringing more total body in, we're balancing on one leg, we're gonna tap our toes behind, and then our heel in front as we curl those toes under. As we tap those feet, that one foot, our hips stay nice and even, we're squeezing our glutes, our chest is up nice and tall, and our belly button stays pulled in. You should feel this working the side of those glutes. And as we reach behind us, we're not reaching far because we're keeping those hips even and square. 10 seconds. Our chin is tucked, so our head is back. We're going to switch sides. It might not seem like a lot, but we're going to feel that working our hip. And as we flex the foot and curl the toes under, I want you to feel it in the front of that shin as well. These are the only exercises that don't have a spooky theme to them. You'll see those coming as we get into that strength. We want to feel like our whole foot is centered on the floor. So we have that nice arch in our foot. We want to keep those hips nice and even, which they should be as we walk. So training those hips in that core to stabilize our body in day-to-day movements. Next, we're going to grab that mini band and we're going to go to a squat with a mini band row or mini band pull apart. Good, go ahead and pick up that mini band. Our feet are going to be set hip width apart, that band out in front of us. We're going to sit down into a squat like we're sitting into a chair. And then as we come up, we're going to pull that band apart, squeeze it towards the middle of our chest. As you pull it apart, you're squeezing the glutes, squeezing that back. We want to keep that chest up nice and tall, shoulders down and back as we sit down, and then push those hips forward to stand back up. As we do this, we want to try to keep our shoulders down and back, that chin tucked. 4 seconds. And those exercises are coming your way. 50 to 15. You're going to grab one dumbbell. We're going to a squat with a cauldron. So squatting just like warm up, standing up, and then rotating that dumbbell out in front of our body, keeping those shoulders away from those ears. Come with me in 2. We're aiming for those 8 to 10 repetitions. Nice, slow, controlled movements. Now, remember which hand you're holding that dumbbell with. We're going nice, slow, and controlled. And as we rotate that brew, this witch's brew, if you will, nothing else moves. We're working that core, stabilizing. We're halfway through. If you want to switch hands, that's holding that dumbbell, you can, or you can wait until the next round. Chest stays up nice and tall, belly button in, shoulders down and back. 5 seconds. Beautiful work. Your next exercise is a werewolf row. We're going to take that mini band, and it's going to go up overhead. And we're going to pull that band down and howl at the moon. Come with me. Toes pointed straight ahead, balancing on one foot. Woo! That feels good, right? Shoulders away from those ears, keeping them down and back. And then as you pull that mini band towards the middle of that chest, you're going to feel your back get nice and broad, feeling it work along the outside of those armpits. If you're feeling it in the upper back, you can come forward. If you don't have a mini band, you can go into a bent over position here and pull those dumbbells towards those hips. Remember that back stays neutral, that belly button stays pulled in to support the spine at all times. Nice, slow, and controlled. 3 seconds. Yes. Going to take that mini band. It's going to go to those knees, and we're going to a dead lift, right? This one I didn't have to change at all. It had a spooky name right there in it. Get a heavier set of dumbbells. Hold them at your sides. Feet hip width apart and toes straight ahead. We're going to bend those knees, sit those hips back, but we're going to let that chest fall towards the floor, all right? So the upper body goes towards parallel. The chest stays up tall and the back stays neutral here. So more movement through the hips. And by banding those knees, you're going to feel that work the outside of those hips. At no point should you have any back pain here. So if you're feeling a pinching or pulling in the low back, sit your chest up a little bit taller and go into a squat. All right, so hips back, belly button in, nice big squeeze, 2 seconds. Perfect. You're hitting the floor for a zombie press. This is simply a floor press. So all the way down to the floor. Elbows out wide, palms facing the legs. We're pressing those dumbbells up and together over our chest. Then as we tap those dumbbells down towards the floor, they should be in line with the middle of our sternum. Exhale as you push up. Nice, slow, controlled back down. Tap those elbows and change directions. If you choose to keep that mini band on those knees as I have, you're going to feel those hips continuing to work and engage by keeping the knees in line with those toes. Don't let them fall in together. Get that added work here. 7 seconds. Nice, slow, controlled down. Exhale as you push up. Beautiful work. Your last exercise, you're back down to one dumbbell, knees banded if you have it. Dumbbell towards your chest, you're going to a goblin creep. So you're going into a quarter squat, and then we're going to step 1 foot out and slightly back. Then back to neutral, up and squeeze. So we're stepping back and out by leading with that knee. So pushing that knee into the mini band. Those toes stay pointed straight ahead. You're going to feel this working those glutes, and you're getting creepy like a goblin here. Chest stays up tall. The belly button stays pulled in. And we stand up between, making sure that we're making each exercise count. Each repetition ends with a big squeeze on those glutes. 5 seconds to finish round number 1. Get the most out of your workout. There you have it. You're going back to the beginning with your squat and cauldron or your witch's brew. Let's get festive, let's get creepy and build our strength. Opposite hand, holding that dumbbell if you didn't switch last time, and then rotating out in front. As you can see, I'm keeping that dumbbell in line with the middle of my sternum. So I'm not bringing it up too high that my shoulders start to shrug up towards my ears. Feeling that body stabilize. Those shoulders working to control that rotation and alternating sides. Exhale as you rotate. And everything else stays neutral. Chin tucked, head pushed back. Last one. Recover. Grab that mini band. We're going to balance on the opposite leg for that row, for that pull down. All right. Overhead if you can. And if you don't have the mini band, you can go to that bent over row. If we're starting to burn, you can howl at the moon. It's coming out tonight. It is Halloween. We're getting creepy. We're getting spooky and sweaty while we're building muscle. Remember, 8 to 10 repetitions. We focus on form first, slow controlled tempo, shoulders away from those ears. We're balancing on one leg. Big squeeze down. 10 seconds. Nice, slow, controlled release. Are you feeling it? You're going to feel it working on the outside of the armpits, the back of the shoulders, the back of those arms. We're going to that dead lift. All right? If anything is going to make you feel alive, it's lifting heavy weights. So only challenge yourself, but only challenge yourself if we have no pain in these movements. And that's pinching, pulling pain, not muscle burn. There is a distinct difference. Remember, gentle arch in that back. The back remains neutral. The belly button stays pulled in. We support the spine. We squeeze those glutes, pushing the hips forward, chin tucked and head pushed back. Each repetition is meaningful and strong. 5 seconds for the finish. There it is. Beautiful work. Hitting the floor for your zombie press. Keeping those knees banded if you have them. Dumbbells on those legs. Sit back till those feet are flat. Palms facing. Everything stays nice and neutral. Now, if you have any kind of pinching, pulling pain in the shoulder in this position, you can simply rotate those hands so the palms are facing each other. Either way, we want to bring those dumbbells down towards the middle of that sternum, opening up that chest so that those dumbbells are right over top of the shoulder, the elbows. Nice, slow, controlled down. Exhale, up and together. Yes, you can for 12 more seconds. Working on control, embracing the burn in those muscles as we build and work towards our goals. There you have it. You're finishing with the goblin creep or a squat with an abductor step to work those hips and those glutes. Here we go. Feet hip width apart. Toes stay pointed straight ahead as we push into that band with that knee. If you don't have a band, it's okay. You're still going to feel it work. Out and slightly back as if the foot or as if those toes are in line with the opposite foot's heels. Feeling it work. If you're limited on space, go ahead and turn around and go back the way you came. Chin tucked and head pushed back here. Down to 15 seconds. Finishing round number 2. 3 rounds. We're building muscle. We're embracing the burn and we're working all the way to that tone. One last round. We have your witch's brew. One more time. Squat with a cauldron. Feet hip width apart. This time, you can start with one hand holding that dumbbell, but the second time we're halfway, we're going to be switching which hand, and that's coming in 10 seconds. Stay tall and long, belly button in. We're not rounding as we rotate here. Go ahead and switch which hand is holding that dumbbell. Going back and forth. Be tall and long and proud of all your hard work. You only need this 20 minutes and you're gonna build all kinds of muscle and work towards those goals. 3 seconds. Beautiful work. We're going to that werewolf row. Balancing on one foot. Bringing those arms overhead, reaching towards the moon. Then pull it in. Howl as you work hard all the way to the finish line. Squeeze the glutes, work the balance. Whoop. Shoulders away from those ears. Don't forget the modifications. If you feel the shoulders shrugging up, bring it closer to in front of you. Go ahead and switch which leg you're balancing on. Chest up tall, chin tucked and head pushed back. That helps keep those shoulders away from those ears. Feeling it work, guys. Try to keep it even here. 8 seconds to finish working that back. Always working more than just our muscle groups by adding in that balance. Bend those knees for your dead lift. We're gonna feel more alive by finishing this workout. Here we go. Hip width apart. Sitting those hips back. Chest up nice and tall. Find that neutral back. You're not reaching those dumbbells towards the floor and rounding that back. We always want to support our neutral spine, support proper posture so that we can have less pain day to day. Big squeeze on those glutes, working all the way to that tone. 12 seconds. We should be burning in the last 2 to 3 repetitions. 4, last one. Beautiful work. Hitting the floor for that floor press. All the way down. Keeping those knees banded if you want to work that challenge. Here we go. Palms facing the legs. As long as we have no shoulder pain. Then nice, slow, controlled down tap. Big up and squeeze. Even here, we want to have that small arch in our low back. We don't want to be pushing that low back into the floor. Belly button gently pulled in though, because we also don't want to be arching as we press those dumbbells up and together. We're not rushing it. We're working it. Pressing those dumbbells, pressing those hands, pressing towards those goals. 8 seconds. There you have it. Beautiful work. And last but not least, your goblin creep to finish yet another workout here. Dumbbell up to that chest. Chest up tall, feet hip width apart. Pushing into that band with that knee. The foot follows. We lead with the knee, the foot follows. Toes stay straight ahead. Belly button gently pulled in. Working into this very last 30 seconds of your workout. You're almost there. You're building muscle, building metabolism, building strength for whatever life is going to throw at you. We're getting spooky. We're getting stronger to fight off whatever life has in store for us. 5 seconds. One more each way. There you have it. Put those dumbbells down. Take that band off. We're finishing with a cool down and stretch. We're going to go right to the floor, stretching the front of those hips down into those thighs. Feet are going to be hip width apart, flexing that back foot. We're going to squeeze the glutes, tucking the hips under so we feel a nice big stretch through the front of that hip down into that thigh. And then reach up towards the ceiling, even add a small lean to the side if we feel that increase in stretch. Because we're short on time, I only hold these 30 seconds. Now, keep in mind, you can put a pillow, mat, or blanket underneath that back knee because you don't want to have any back knee pain. But you want to make sure that foot is flexed. Go ahead and switch sides. If you don't feel like you're done stretching, stay there and hold it until you no longer feel that stretching sensation. Nice big deep breath. Enjoy that stretch. Just a couple more seconds here. And we're going to go down into a child's pose. Toes together, knees wide. Reach those hands away from the body. Roll the shoulders down and back. And then push that chest down and in towards the floor. Big deep breath in. Think about expanding the ribs, expanding that belly, and then exhale. Chest towards the floor. Another big deep breath here. Exhale. Beautiful work. We're going to lie flat. We're going to kick out our hamstrings. Legs nice and straight. We're going to bend one knee, take the opposite hand and reach towards the outside back of that leg. And then we're kicking like we're kicking our foot over our opposite shoulder. Nice, slow, controlled release back down. Big kick up and squeeze on the front of that thigh. As you kick up, you're going to feel a nice stretch through the outside back of that leg. And then a nice, slow, controlled release. Hips stay flat. Foot stays relaxed. 5 more seconds, you're going to hear a tone, but we're going to switch sides. But you should kick until you no longer feel a stretching sensation. And then you can go ahead and switch. Remember that hand wraps across the front of the leg and grabs the outside back. You're kicking over that opposite shoulder until you no longer feel that stretching sensation. We're calming the hamstrings here. Nobody wants angry hamstrings. They take over for our glutes and they can cause pain in several places and make us lead to injury. So kick out those hamstrings. I hope you're feeling strong, fabulous, and empowered by this workout. Despite the spooky nature, it's always fun to have a change of pace and a different kind of workout. I hope you embrace the burn, build some muscle, and work towards your goals. Please find me on Facebook at Kinetic Balance Fitness, or never hesitate to reach out to me at kinetic-balance-fit@gmail.com or leave a comment below. I want to hear your feedback so I can continue to improve. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.